Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I've got a terrifying lineup of Dogman encounters to share with you. Before we get into these encounters, a couple links and a brief announcement. If you don't want to hear the announcement, a timestamp will be in the description below, so you can jump right to the encounters. On to the announcement. Today I had a wonderful 2-hour ride with my mom and dad to my specialists, and we scheduled my surgery for December 10th. Also, it was just the most, I don't even know, long, shitty day. 16 vials of blood, riding with my mom and dad for 5 hours, 2.5 there, 2.5 home. Benefits of living in the country. Just a wonderful, wonderful day. I didn't know if I'd be able to put something out tonight because I didn't know how I'd feel. That's why I did 2 uploads yesterday. But I got home and I just kind of sat there and I really didn't know what else to do. So I was like, well, I got these pretty kick-ass Dogman encounters, so let's share them with everybody. Before we get into these encounters, a couple links. Also, thank you for everybody who has generously helped with the GoFundMe page. With what has been donated and what I have, I'm a little under halfway, and I never ever would have thought that even being possible. So thank you very, very, very much. Thank you for all the prayers, the well wishes. Just, you guys are friggin' awesome. Wow. So thank you. Before we get into these encounters, a couple links I'd like to share. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merchandise to help this channel to continue to grow and go. Those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fanfiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that really don't fit on this channel. Now, if that's anything that you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. You may just enjoy what you hear. And last but not least, there's a GoFundMe page to help raise some money for my decompression surgery scheduled for December 10th. If that's anything that you're interested in helping with, that link is also in the description below. Now I've taken enough of your time with my jibber jabber. Let's get on with these Dogman encounters, shall we? Today's first terrifying Dogman encounter. I'm a college kid, and I live in Big Rapids. I heard people say there's this building around Reed City where supposedly this thing lives or hangs out. We arrived there at 2:30 in the morning, and there we sat. About an hour and a half, something caught my eye. About 50 yards to the right of us, we saw something moving. We didn't think anything of it until we heard big twigs start to snap. I got out my mag light and shined it in the area. I saw something that was definitely not human. There were crickets all around, and all of a sudden they stopped. I kept on seeing something move over in the woods, kind of like a silhouette. I thought it was a deer until we shined the light on it. Must have been 6'9". It was huge, tall. It was humanoid. I could see below the midsection. I could see thighs, but no feet. I'm believing it was bipedal. The hair was either dark brown or black, probably dark brown. Must have covered the majority of its body, maybe an inch thick. We did see an arm. One of my friends saw it. It was behind a tree. in a little wooded area, and it stood half behind the tree, half exposed. It didn't move at all when we had the light on it. His arm was longer than a human's. When we saw it in the light, when it was standing still, it looked a little hunched. I only got a faint view of its face. I could tell that it was very hairy, but it didn't really remind me of a dog's face. The way the eyes set made me think of a human's face. I couldn't see the ears. I remember the mouth to be narrow, but I don't recall seeing a nose at the end of its snout. All I could really tell about the eye color was yellow. The eyes seemed a little slanted. I think it may have been some light reflection off of its eyes. It has a huge forehead. When I saw a picture of a sketched Dogman, it really didn't look like that. This freaked us out so bad that we had to leave in the car. We left and then said we have to figure out what that thing was. Stupid college idealism. After about a half a mile, we decided we had to go back and see what it really was. We pulled back up to a church and sat for 5 minutes before strange things started to happen. First of all, we heard noises all around us. I can't explain these noises, but they put shivers down my spine. As soon as the noises stopped, a motion light on the building turned on, and we heard something run away very fast. I was so scared I couldn't even move. We were in the car this whole time, mind you. All of a sudden, my friend spots something behind us. I pushed in the clutch and slowly started to roll back to get a closer view. My friend shined the light on it, and 2 yellow eyes stared at us. I thought it was the regular road reflectors until we saw it blink. This feeling came over me. I felt like this thing wanted to do us harm. I could tell that this thing was standing on 2 legs. I fired up the car and floored it. We must have been going 40 miles an hour, and I could see in the brake lights that something was chasing us on 4 legs. Eventually, we lost the thing, and I had to pull over down the road to calm myself and my friends down. I don't know if this was the Dogman or not, but this thing was not human, it wasn't natural, and it definitely wasn't friendly. I don't believe it was a figment of my imagination either, for 2 reasons. I didn't believe in the supernatural, and 3 other people beside myself saw the same thing I saw. I really think it was the Dogman. We were sitting in the car after we saw it, comparing it to our own bodies. We didn't really see the face until we came back. We were all in the car the whole time. We could all see it from the car. There was a motion light on the side of the building, which was abandoned, but someone was trying to remodel it. Motion light came on, and that freaked us all out quite a bit. We listened, and we heard something moving very, very fast behind the church, but we really couldn't see it clearly. It moved ungodly fast. I looked in my rearview mirror and thought I saw something go by the lighted tree. Then we lost it for a little bit. After we were shining a light on it, I was holding the mag light, and I was shaking so bad I actually dropped it. My buddy, who was sitting in the back of my hatchback, said, "What's that?" And in the tall weeds on the other side of the road were the 2 yellow eyes, kind of slanted in a way. It didn't have a long snout like a dog, but the snout was narrow. It wasn't human and it wasn't a dog. It wasn't flat-faced like a human. All I saw was hair underneath what I presumed to be the jaw, like a cape or a mane. From what I saw, it kind of was slender in a stature, not beefy. I would guess 200 to 250 pounds. The head reminded me of a canine shape, the kind of triangular-looking head. It was looking completely straight on at us. It could have had ears, but was too dark to see them. So, whether they sat further back or not, I'm not really sure. Now, I've seen pictures of Bigfoot, and I don't believe it was a Bigfoot. That night I got home, and I was so intrigued and freaked out that I Googled the word Dogman and got a whole bunch of pictures. I had the distinct feeling that this thing wanted to hurt us. Maybe it was just the fear of the unknown. Maybe it could have been the fact that it was slightly hunched. I was a skeptic before that night. 4 guys saw the same exact thing. Another, the second time, when we left, the eyes were behind the car. The guy looking back thought he saw something come and go from 2 legs to 4. This wasn't the first time a friend of mine had seen it. He's been there 2 times. He showed us where it was. It was very, very quiet. It wasn't human in a suit or a bear. I'll put it on the Bible, everything I just said was true. A reason why it wasn't human: it could maneuver well on 4 legs and just moved so fast. Now, I do believe there is a swamp somewhere around there. I heard there was maybe 1 more of these things. Some person said there may be 4 or 5 of them. One of my friends that went with us said him and a couple buddies were driving by in a Firebird very slow, and they saw the eyes, and it chased after them and put scratches on the trunk of the car, but I didn't see it. This is really, really goofy. I'd like to go back with a video camera. I'm majoring in radiology, so I know enough about body systems and anatomy to tell about the features. I didn't notice any reproductive organs. There was a lot of hair in that area. This thing didn't get closer than 40 feet, but when I fired up the car, the guy in the back said it went down on all 4s and went real fast. I didn't see the eyes until we flashed the light on it. I don't think this was paranormal. It was biological, not ghostly. I wasn't aware of other things like this was going on at the time. The only reason why I refer to it as a Dogman is the fact that I've heard local legends of this thing. So I really had no idea about any sightings of the Dogman or the body style it had. Today's second Dogman encounter. A couple summers ago, 2 of my coworkers were driving home from work late one night. They were following each other when they saw this large creature cross the road in front of them. A, who was in the first vehicle, said it was walking hunched over, using its hind legs and 1 front leg. She said it almost looked like it had 1 hurt leg the way it moved across the road. She also states that she could clearly see the head over the top of her SUV as it passed in front of her. It was dark in color, lean, and had shaggy, matted fur. C, who was in the vehicle behind A, described the same thing. They both seemed a bit embarrassed when they told me what they saw the next day and said I probably thought they were crazy. Their story actually reminded me of the Bray Road story I had heard back in the early 90s. Then I asked them if they'd ever heard of that story, which they both said no, so I went and printed out some articles on the incident for them to read. The sighting took place on Nevin Road, a few miles outside of Watertown, Wisconsin. I drive that road all the time, and I'd never seen anything like that they described. We did have a report of a bear this past summer at my work, which is just a bit off Nevin Road. But me, nor the Department of Nature and Recreation, were able to find any evidence of a bear in the area. Today's third Dogman encounter. I work steady afternoon shifts. Back in March, I'd say, I was coming home from work. I always, and still do, take this side road off the main highway. The area is what you guys would call out in the sticks. If you have a road atlas, I work in Middlefield, Ohio, which is actually in Geauga County. From State Route 88 eastbound, I turn south onto Hoffman-Norton Road. Maybe a half mile before the intersection is Bristol-Champion Road. This is very desolated, heavily wooded, and hilly, mostly now public wildlife area. Trumbull County has a history of being located on a Stone Age Indian burial ground. There are Amish homes scattered in the area as well. My high beam shone on a large, and I mean very large, animal. It was on all 4s, but I would guess it was every bit of 6 feet long from its head to its hindquarters, not counting its very bushy tail, and stood at least 3 feet high on all 4s to its back and shoulders. It jumped into a ditch, and as there was no one else on the road, I stopped and angled my car so my headlights would shine on it. It was beautiful, silver gray and white. Its face was white. I was glued upon this magnificent animal. A full-blooded Cherokee friend of mine at work said it sounded like a wolf. He made no threatening moves towards my car. I didn't get out nor roll down my window, but its stare sort of looked inside of me, if that makes any sense. Wow, what a day. You know, it was a day that started first thing in the morning, and I'm 43, and I had to ride with my parents, and that sucked. And then vials of blood and testing and this and that, and then back home with my parents, which sucked. I don't think the night could have ended on a higher note, or the day, with these badass Dogman encounters. This is what I needed. I needed to have a couple of Dogman encounters to end the night with, and I hope you guys did too. And I hope you guys found these as fascinating as I did. Once again, I want to thank everybody for your prayers, your generous donations, and everything. Thank you so much, guys. And may the Great Spirit watch over all of you. And with that, I bid you farewell.